Hey YouTube, it's Mike here. 12.5 horse Craftsman lawn tractor here, the Briggs. This tractor came to me, it was a drop off basically, and pulled out of a barn. I was told nothing could likely work and that it burned oil like crazy. Now, unfortunately I hadn't really started doing videos when I first did this. Back in here, if you've headed these apart before, there's a little tab that holds on this cover and comes out of this white metal here in the block in the back. What had happened, and I guess the reason they thought it was burning oil is, I think what was happening is the oil was coming around and down and hitting the exhaust and smoking off like crazy. But somebody must have gave this a bang or something in here and knocked the tab out. And I kind of did an assessment on it, pulled it all apart, looked at the oil, and I had the piece because the bolt was actually still in it. And so what I ended up doing was taking that piece and kind of chucking it away. I got some copper all-round strapping, and I basically made a piece to go in here, and I wish I had the time to take this apart and show you, but what I did then was I cleaned this all up real well, fluxed the living bejeebers out of it, and soldered that copper piece in to this here, and then put the bolt in once it was cooled off. And I had kind of checked it for leaks, and the other thing that I did was I actually used a bit of oil resistant silicone around after I had soldered it, just in case there were any small cracks. Ran it for a bit, and then changed the oil and looked for any sparklies or pieces of solder or anything else that might have fallen, because I didn't want to have to tear it apart. I tried to be really careful with that. I could see when I had that tab that it had popped out, so any amount of material like this white metal that may have come off of there would have been pretty minimal. I don't think it would have actually caused any damage. And I actually did a flush, so I drained the oil. I got it hot first. I started it and ran it until it was warmed up. Drained the oil out, stuck the plug in, just up until it touched the dipstick. I put diesel fuel in, cranked it over, let it sputter a few times. It was still warm from the last run because I did this all within quick succession. Drained it again, and then I kind of had it leaning just so it was kind of extra drainy. Had a jack under the one side. So then I put the plug in, put a bit of oil in, kind of shook it around. I can't remember, I might have cranked it once, not starting it, with just a shot of oil in it. I did that a couple of times until I could tell that the diesel was rinsed, and then I put fresh oil in it, cranked it and started it, ran it, warmed it up. I think I even cut the grass part way once or something. I did work it a little bit, drained that oil, then I put the oil that's in it now in it. And I think there might be the slightest sweat in here, but there's also a bit of oil just kind of sitting around. And what I'll do is I'll just show you, like, for saying, my son's been here, for saying what I've done with it, and hope it's got gas in it. See if it'll even start. I might have to use the throttle. That's not bad. I had to weld up the exhaust too. I don't know, this is not the first Briggs I've had like this, and I love the way these things idle. Kind of fun little machines. I had a custom exhaust on my other 12 force, and it's actually a motorcycle pipe. It sounded pretty cool. You just putt around all day, and barely use any fuel, and kid could drive it, didn't matter. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you that. Kind of an idea if you know your broken piece and you have all of it, and you don't feel like taking the engine apart, especially on this cast aluminum stuff or white metal. Kind of a way to fix it. I used the copper strap, sanded it, flexed it, soldered it. The copper strap gives you something that you know you're going to adhere to, and when you solder it, you try to make almost a plug, because completely bonding to this white metal is not going to happen. So, not properly anyway. Anyway, we'll talk to you.